Now we're going to study the standard form of a parabola. Now when I say standard form, I mean of the form y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. There are some other forms we're going to study, but when I say standard, this is what I mean. Well, let's look at some characteristics of the graph of this equation. You know that if a is positive, then it's going to be an upward opening parabola, or it's smiling. If a is negative, it's downward facing. Now, if a is positive, then we know we're going to have a minimum, while if a is negative, it's going to be downward facing, so we're going to have a maximum. Now, this is a little bit new. The axis of symmetry is equal to the formula x is equal to minus b over 2a. I'm going to derive this for you, but you do need to know it. You don't have to derive it, but you're going to have to know it. The x-coordinate of the vertex is the same as the axis of symmetry, the x value. So it's minus b over 2a. And the y-coordinate is the function evaluated at x equals minus b over 2a. So a lot of times we'll write this as parentheses minus b over 2a, and then the function evaluated at minus b over 2a. Now, intercepts. The y-intercept is going to be 0c. So when x is 0, it'll intercept the y-axis. For the x-intercepts, we're going to need to do some factoring. So we'll do that a little bit later. So let's look at this function. Y is 2x squared plus 8x minus 2. Let's just see if we can analyze it a little bit. The first thing you need to do is find the vertex. Since I gave you the graph, you can read off the vertex. But, and it is negative 2, negative 10. But what if you couldn't read it off? Well, let's start by finding the axis of symmetry. Okay, the axis of symmetry is x equals minus b over 2a. Now in this problem, a is 2, b is 8, and c is minus 2. So the axis of symmetry is minus 8 divided by 2. All right, so it is minus 2. Lo and behold, we were right. So you're always going to want to put in the axis of symmetry as the line and label it. Now, once I have the axis of symmetry, I can find the vertex. Now to find the vertex, I need to find the function evaluated at minus b over 2a. So I want to find the function evaluated at negative 2. So this is going to be 2 times negative 2 squared plus 8 times negative 2 minus 2. So this is 2 times 4 minus 16 minus 2. So this is 8 minus 16 minus 2. And so this is negative 10. So my vertex is negative 2, negative 10. Lo and behold, exactly what I was able to read off my graph. It's always good when that works. So what is my domain? Well, the domain is not restricted because I can have any value for x. So the domain is the set of x such that x is an element of the real variables. But what about the range? Well, I have an upward facing parabola because a is positive. So I know I'm going to have a minimum. So I know the range is going to be the set of y such that y has to be greater than or equal to the y value of the vertex. Okay, now this one I don't have a graph, and wouldn't be easy to factor with my skills that I have at this time. So let's just start and find the y-intercept. First of all, it's upward facing. I know it's upward because A is 2, A is 2, B is 10, and C is 7. So I know I'm going to have a minimum, not a maximum. So let me find the axis of symmetry. X is equal to minus b over 2a. So x is minus 10 divided by 2, and a in this case is 2. So this is negative 10 over 4, negative 5 halves, so it's negative 2.5. Now to find the, actually, you know what, I'm going to leave this minus 5 halves. I'm going to leave it in fractional form because it'll make finding the y value of the vertex easier. So to find the function, evaluate it at minus b over 2a, I need to substitute in minus 5 halves. So this is going to be 2 times negative 5 halves squared plus 10 times minus 5 halves plus 7. So when I do this, I see this is going to be 2 times 25 divided by 4. So this will be 25 divided by 2 minus, let's see, that's going to be 5. 25 plus 7. So when I do this, I'm going to wind up getting, a little math in my head, minus 5.5. So the vertex is the x, you go to the axis of symmetry, that's your x value, so it's minus 2.5, and the y value is minus 5.5. The domain is the set of x such that x is a real number, and the range, because I know it's upward facing, I'm going to have a minimum. So the range is a set of y such that y is greater than or equal to, now I want that value right there. If I wanted to know the y-intercept, I could plot that point as well. Okay, is just when x is 0. So the y-intercept is 0, 7. Please remember the y-intercept is 0, c.